A Catholic school tells its top student to return an academic award after he gave a heartfelt graduation speech that wasn't fully approved by the school. That's coming up next on Educated.
Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Fiorazo. Katie is off today, but we're blessed to have the Dr. Jake Jacobs filling in. Welcome, brother. So good to do these shows with you. A couple episodes here.
I love working with you, David.
Yes. Still got your Arizona tan, so it's hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
All right. First, before we get started, Freedom Project Academy, our Judeo-Christian online school, is enrolling for the fall. FPA offers live, anytime, and homeschool courses for students in pre-kindergarten through high school. Visit freedomforschool.com. That's freedom, F-O-R, school.com. Use the code EDUCATED15, and you can save 15% on all courses. That's EDUCATED15 to save 15%. freedomforschool.com. So today on Worldview Matters, before we jump into education and what's going on here, had another brilliant guest. He is the Vice President of North American Ministries for Friends of Israel. We talked about responding to this current trend in America of anti-Semitism and around the world, but also the biblical ignorance that goes along with that. People not understanding Genesis 12:3, the Old Testament, and other things that say, hey, if you believe the Bible, you should support Israel. So go to worldviewmatters.tv. That's worldviewmatters.tv. So our first story, Jake, we're, graduation season. We're going to get a lot of stories, much worse than this one. But the community rallied behind a valedictorian who was stripped of his title after his graduation speech. It was so offensive. No, actually it wasn't. And that's the interesting part of this story. It wasn't something blatant. It wasn't something, offensive, but you'll want to watch the video. We'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Bishop Carroll High School stripping the valedictorian title from graduate Austin Tran after he gave his graduation speech, which the school says was too long and unapproved. Now thousands have signed an online petition voicing their disagreement with the school's decision, and alumni in the community are speaking out too.
It was a beautiful speech, and I was like, it brought back a lot of memories for me from in high school. So it just left me even more confused as to why, because it just seems so extreme, especially after reading the speech.
Even past valedictorians joining the community in voicing their disagreement and protesting here at Bishop Carroll High School.
When I saw that award can be taken away so easily and for something so arbitrary and capricious, my medal just didn't have meaning to me anymore. And so my reaction was, Austin can have mine.
Laura Dean was one of several past valedictorians to leave their medals at the front entrance of the school in support of Austin.
The decision was easy. I don't regret returning the medal, because if this is what it means, if it doesn't mean what I thought it meant before, then I have no use for it anymore.
We received a statement from the Catholic Diocese. It says they respectfully decline the request for comment, as Bishop Carroll High School does not publicly discuss administrative or disciplinary issues involving its students.
Well, so Jake, it's not like he came out and say, I believe in marriage between one man and one woman.
Right.
And
it was anti-Catholic or anything.
Well, it wasn't. It was very interesting, but his mom shared her son's story on Facebook, and it went viral. And she said Austin was initially asked to write a 3 to 4 minute speech. He submitted the speech for approval. He was told it was too long and asked to change certain parts, including jokes he made about the bishop. But it's interesting. So he complied and resubmitted the revised version, which was approved, but he decided to rewrite his speech night before, last minute, and he felt it would better resonate with his classmates, and he ultimately delivered the new version. But again, it wasn't something so blatant, in your face, offensive, even to the woke, crowd.
You said it actually did resonate with his fellow
Well, yeah.
classmates.
Yeah,
They
it
loved
sounded
it.
like
I
it.
mean, they loved it and they clapped. I'm just puzzled that they went this route with him.
Yeah, so am I, and it's one of those things. It's funny though. The end of that story, they declined to comment. You hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Usually they put out a disclaimer. Their cover all bases. Statement, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, and if he was a rebellious student or had an axe to grind, there appears to be nothing like that happened. I mean, to the point where wasn't she a fellow valedictorian speaker? She turns in her honor.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
And it says, come on, this is ridiculous, you guys. So, yeah. Hey, by the way, my dad was valedictorian at Iron Mountain High School, 1943, and I know that your parents, Kingsford, which is right next door to Iron Mountain.
Yeah, they you know what? Growing up, they were called the Twin Cities.
Were they seriously?
Iron Mountain, Kingsford. You think of Minneapolis, St. Paul, or the Twin Cities, and so this is one of those things where you wonder if there is something that we're not aware of, something that was not told, that's not in the story, that for a reason that they took his award away.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad you said that, because that's where I was puzzled. When I read this initially, I'm like, what's going on here? What's behind the curtain that we don't know? And I don't know if there is anything.
So maybe maybe in his first version, he had jokes about the bishop. Maybe he didn't keep those in. Maybe he took them out, but maybe just the fact that they knew that he originally wanted to tell you. Maybe he was someone in authority was offended by that.
Hey, I would love to actually hear or at least read the first speech, the written speech with the jokes on the bishop.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Where is that? Put that one online.
Yes.
They should. Anyway, we should move on to the next story. Graduation season, Jake, this is yours.
Yeah, here. High school graduates answer questions from their younger selves. A May 19th TikTok shared by McCallie School, a boys' preparatory school located in Chattanooga, Tennessee, is satisfying the relatable curiosity about our inner selves with a post featuring members of the class of 2025. In it, the 5 students sit down to ask questions they recorded as 6th graders 7 years earlier about their hobbies, interests, and life's lessons. Are they still into the same foods and sports as they were 7 years ago? Was Waterboy or maybe Star Wars still their favorite movie? Let's take a watch on this.
Hey Cannon, this is your 6th grade self. Remember me? I've got a few questions for you.
Hey Will, this is your 6th grade self. I got a few questions for you.
Hi Nakinji, this is your 6th grade self. You remember me? I have a few questions for you. Is your favorite hobby still solving a Rubik's Cube, just like me?
I thought it was so tough for being able to do that back in the day.
Hey Ward, is your favorite food still Mexican?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Chipotle, for sure. Taco Mamacita.
Is your favorite movie still The Waterboy?
My favorite movie definitely is still The Waterboy. 100%. It's a classic.
Is your favorite subject world history, or is it math and science?
Not world history anymore. I'm a science guy now.
Also, what is your favorite sport? Is it still soccer?
The stutter is crazy. No, football, definitely. Go Birds.
Is your favorite sport still basketball?
My favorite sport is still basketball. I've loved it all through Macaulay. I love basketball.
Is your favorite movie still Star Wars?
My favorite movie is probably still Star Wars, yeah.
Hey Will, where are you going to college?
Yale. I'm going to Yale University. I'm going to study mechanical engineering.
I'm going to Tennessee Wesleyan University for college to play lacrosse.
I'm going to Mississippi State for college.
I'm going to the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa.
And one more thing, Roll Tide.
Yes, Roll Tide.
Yes, Dr. Jake Jacobs, my favorite movie is still It's a Wonderful Life. So this is interesting. I can't remember what I probably liked when I was their age or younger.
Right.
Was it 6th grade? You're sixth.
They were sixth grade, 7 years
sixth
before
grade
graduation. Yeah. You know what's interesting is the school, I'm bringing up Westminster Confession of Faith. Well, the school's motto is right out of the Westminster Confession of Faith.
Nice.
Man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. So this school has a great reputation for inculcating in these young kids. And it's absolutely wonderful to see this. There was a series when I was a kid, actually, called Up. And I can relate to it because it was in 1964. I was 7, well, the beginning of 64.
Yeah.
And every 7 years, all the way through life, they would take these 14, 20 students, bring them together and interview them about various topics in education, going to Oxford and whatever it was. And the next one is coming out next year, and they're going to call it 70 Up.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've got to be the skeptic just for a moment when you talked about the Confession of Faith.
Yeah.
You know Harvard's original motto, right? I mean, they were based on John 17:3 and the gospel and Jesus Christ and the truth. Now they removed, the shield used to have truth for Christ and the church. Now it's just Veritas.
They took away Christ, the church,
the truth,
and now it's Veritas, and
yeah.
they're not even the closest thing to
anyway,
Veritas.
but I'm glad this school sounds good. And
yes,
that's
it does.
interesting that they're doing this kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry to get off topic. I got to poke Harvard whenever we can.
That's right.
Because I see you have the Marxification of Education book out in front of your laptop there by James Lindsay. Brilliant man.
Absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant.
Anyway, so guys, we've got much more to come, including college grads shocked as names are read at commencement by AI. Plus, we've got the Babylon Bee headlines to discuss. We'll be back in a moment.
Catch Freedom Project's lineup of shows daily at noon Central. Starting on Monday, we have Educated. On Tuesday, we have the Dr. Duke Show with Vicki McKenna. Wednesday continues with another episode of the Dr. Duke Show with Dr. Jake Jacobs. Thursday, we have One Nation. And Friday, we wrap up the week with another episode of Educated. Catch Freedom Project's lineup of shows daily at noon Central.
College grads shocked as names are read at commencement by AI. What a beautiful personal touch. Let's take a look.
Kelly Danko. Sophia Cicero. Emily Acosta. Sabrina Ali. Jeremy Brosnan.
Hayden Tops.
Caitlin Egan. Sierra Janes.
Haley Vitale.
You know, I'm confused. There were different voices, male and female voices, and it sounded normal, but that was AI?
That was AI, yeah,
Okay.
because I think what they had coded in there,
Yeah.
they had already sounded out phonetically so the AI would properly pronounce their name.
Okay.
I got to tell you something. The last class that I went through graduation with at the academy I used to teach at, I was given the honor of being able to read the name of the students.
That's neat.
And I practiced and I practiced, and I went to the students whose name I had a problem with,
Yeah.
many of them coming from other countries, and I worked on their names and had a little phonetic
Sheet
chart
notes,
that I
yeah.
worked on to give them respect for their name. But I don't know. A lot of these students were saying, it felt like it was compared to fruit and vegetables at a supermarket checkout. They just felt it didn't feel personable, didn't feel natural, didn't feel like it
Yeah.
came from the principal or a teacher or what have you.
Yeah, it depends. If it was a smaller, graduating class or a smaller school or university or something like that, then you want someone maybe you had for a teacher, or
Yeah.
you want a counselor, someone that you know to read your name. But I guess I understand both sides of this. So that's.
I guess they're going to argue, hey, you're not.
Kelly Danko.
Oh, here it is. There's more of it.
Kelly Danko.
Yeah.
Sophia Cicero.
Well, Cicero, come on, you'd be able to pronounce
Emily
that.
Acosta.
Cicero. All right.
So I wonder
Yeah.
what name was actually, what voice was put in. Was it the principal's voice, and then AI would just continue the principal's voice?
You know, that's interesting. Was that wasn't, I didn't see that anywhere or hear that, but they had, it sounded like there were 3 different voices, male, female, maybe 2 different males. Anyway, if my ears are correct, but yeah, what a personal touch. I don't know. I majoring in the minors here.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, there's another story too related. What do we have? Generation Z grads say their college degrees were a waste of time and money as AI infiltrates the workplace. 4 years of classes, thousands of dollars in tuition, and one freshly minted diploma, all to be outdone by chatbots. Yeah, I think we have a video on this.
Yep. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, well, you know, the fact is, as artificial intelligence floods the workplace, nearly half of Gen Z job seekers say their degrees have already been made obsolete by the rise of generative AI tools like GPT, and they're wondering why they even bothered hitting the books in the first place. It's a waste of time and money, according to respondents to a latest report that just came out.
40, almost 50%, almost half of Gen Z job hunters think that their college education has lost value in the job market due to AI. Let me say one thing. I'll let you respond. This goes back so many years that I've always heard so many people, they get a degree and I don't remember what the percentage was. I think it was like 60 or 70% ended up working in a field that was not even the degree that they went to school for. So they're disappointed that, you know, and here's another interesting angle with where AI comes into this, and they're thinking, well, I went to school, now I'm not even going to be able to do exactly what I sought to anyway.
Yeah, and even beyond AI, and it's true, the millennials saw this happening quite a bit, and this Generation Z, the Zoomers, they have experienced it profoundly, and they feel cheated, they feel disenfranchised, so to speak, and they also recognize, couple this with the woke indoctrination and brainwashing on college campuses. That's why a lot of them are recoiling away from this traditional college education. Even President Trump wants to take the money away from these woke universities like Harvard and Yale and give